Dust collection. It's something that we've all had to deal with. Whether you have a big shop, small shop, you're just a weekend hobbyist or a semi-professional hobbyist, you've had to deal with dust collection at some point in time. And when you did, I'm sure you realize it's a little bit more complicated than just hooking up a vacuum and being done with. Now, the first part is the most important part. Which system do you get? Do you get a shop vac like this, which is a high pressure, low volume, or do you get a stand-up dust collection, which is a low pressure, high volume? Now, this is the most important part because they are not interchangeable. Now, they will not work efficiently if you get them wrong. Now, how you choose which one you need is all depending on the size of holes you have. Now, the holes I'm talking about are the dust ports on all of your equipment. Like this, on my miter saw, it's a small hole. Table saw, small hole. Sander, small hole. Planer, small hole. Now, the small holes means small volume. So you need a high amount of pressure sucking through those tiny little holes to get the volume out. So that's why you need a high pressure, low volume system, which is a shop vac. Now, the plumbing and tubing is where I made my first mistake, thinking this stuff would work. Now, there's a reason you don't see this stuff plumbed all over professional shops, because you have to take into account of all that restriction down through there, which is going to ruin your airflow. Think of it as driving down a highway. If you're driving down a nice, smooth highway, you can do whatever speed you want. But if you're driving down a highway and there's 1,000 speed bumps all the way down the highway, just like there is in this, you have to go much, much slower and you're gonna lose all of your efficiency. Not only that, is if you have this plumbed all over your shop, most likely you have it twisted in many different directions like that, just trying to make it work and fit in your machines. You're also losing efficiency that way, which is why the best thing to do with a shop vac is plumb it with some nice, smooth PVC piping. Now, my second big mistake I made on my first dust collection system is I cheaped out on my blast gates. I got these plastic pieces of junk. Please do not get these. Now, the reason you don't want to get these are, if you could see right down in there, there's sawdust that gets locked in the groove of where this slides up and down. And after about 3 minutes, these fill up and you cannot close them anymore. And if you can't close a blast gate, it makes your whole entire system pointless. So you have to get these good metal ones. Now, unfortunately, these are about 15 bucks on Amazon for the 2.5-inch ones, and the price goes up the larger they get. So don't be like me and try to cheap out and buy some cheap blast gates, because that's just gonna ruin your whole entire central vac system, which is gonna be a huge waste of your time and money in the first place. Okay, so if you're running the same kind of system I am, and you're doing a high pressure, low volume system, and you're running a 2.5-inch blast gate and a 2-inch PVC piping, you're going to run into one little small issue. The PVC piping is the exact same size of this opening, so it's going to sit perfectly right on top of it. But the blast gate is just a hair too big. So how I fixed it was I just took a wire wheel on a drill attachment and I honed out the inside of where the connection is going to be on the blast gate, and it fits perfectly. Man, this thing's starting to look like Frankenstein going up through here. Okay, so I'm done. That was probably one of the easiest one-day builds that had the greatest impact in my shop. Couple things I want to point out. I did try to put all of the blast gates as close to the source as I could. It works out pretty well in my shop because most of my work gets done over here and they're very easy access. It might be a little bit different in your shop. Do what works best for you. My favorite thing though is this. I love it because I do most all of my big work over here in this area. I'll make a quick makeshift table so I could put large things down over here. But the problem is I always used to have to get my vacuum from way over there, drag it over here, hook the hose up, run an extension cord. I would have cords all over the place. It would be a mess. Now I have this one central line coming all the way over. I could put it away when I'm not using it, but when I need it, just swing it around. And I could drop the hose right down, hook the sander up, hook a planer up, hook whatever I need up. But also now one thing I was concerned about by hooking this hose up 20 plus feet away from my vacuum was I don't want to stop everything I'm doing, walk all the way over there, turn it off to walk all the way back. So I ended up getting a remote. It's just a plug-in remote. Watch. What? That's so cool. Now the only problem is it's only going to take me like a week to lose this thing.